Hi, it's Lisa, and welcome to Pint-Sized World. Today I'm going to share with you this loft apartment building. It took me about 2 weeks total to build it all. I didn't like a lot of the papers that came with the set, so I added my own flooring. I changed out a lot of the wallpaper for watercolor paper. I made the bathroom out of shrinky dinks, and I added a few little touches just to make it my own and customize it. So come with me, let's look at this loft apartment miniature scene by Poetic Life, which you can find on Amazon. I will leave the link in the description below. I'll also link you to all the tools and materials that I used making this kit. As you can see here, the kit comes with a set of instructions. They're pretty thorough. They give lots of little hints and tricks on how to use it, and they're in English. Yay! And it comes with a set of patterns to use with the fabric and the plastic. And then, of course, these bags filled with all the little things that you're going to need to make everything. So much fun to look through those. And then the boards for the walls and the floors, and this little box is the music box, and some papers that have all the designs on them. So I started out making the stairs, and they came with these little pieces that I pulled out and sanded down. And then glued, I used wood glue for this. And that went pretty smoothly, and I didn't like the idea of using just paper, so I got out my popsicle sticks and cut them to size and glued them down to complete the stairs. And then I attached the other side to the stairs, and I decided to paint it instead of adding the paper that came along with the kit. Just a few coats later and they're all white. And then I decided to paint the window frames a black color. I wasn't too fond of the blue, but they turned out pretty well. And then I just pulled out the sheet of plastic and cut it to size. I did not realize that I could use that pattern paper, but I felt I could conserve more plastic myself just by cutting it down to size like so. And then I just glued them on. Then I decided to paint the walls as well. I didn't like the blue color, and I didn't want to use the papers, so I just put a few coats of this white paint, and then I painted the other wall black and attached the plastic. I did not like the paper flooring, so nope. I'm going to toss that to the side. I painted the part where the bathroom was white because I'm going to use shrinky dinks. And all I did was measure them out, used a pencil to draw on some lines to make it look like marble, and shrunk them in the oven. Now, I have a light to attach to this wall, so I put some batteries into the battery box and tested out the light before I attached it, just to make sure that it worked. And here I am making sure this light fits right in here. And looking at how the paper goes onto that wall, because I don't like that wallpaper. So I'm tracing out a piece of watercolor paper to use in place of that. I like watercolor paper because it has that cool texture, so it makes it look like a textured wall. And I'm just cutting it down to size and making sure I get that hole. And I'm using my nice little slice tool here. That's a ceramic tip that doesn't make me scared I'm going to cut myself. So here I am just looking at the wall, how that's going to work. I wasn't quite sure what to do about the bathroom wall, so I decided just to paint the board white and use that as the wall in the bathroom and use the paper as the tile. And you'll see what I do with the paper here. I just take the tiled wall and I want to make some grooves into the watercolor paper without cutting it. So I'm going to be using the back side of my blade. I'm just taping everything down so nothing moves, and I use a ruler and just tracing and making indentations of the lines of the tile right onto the paper. And why not use my paper as a guide? It's just easier that way. vertical lines. There you can see the grooves in the paper, and then I'm going to take some watercolor because I want those grooves to stand out. So I'm making them black. And I just have to put a little bit of really watered down black right down in there. And then I can wipe away any excess on the top. And it just gives like a little tint to my tiles, making them look used, and then making the grout look black. And here's one that I finished. I coated it with this polyacrylic protective finish just to make them look shiny. And then I just glued it all down right on top of that light. And then it's onto the flooring. I used coffee stirrers, and I just cut them each to size to put them on, and made sure I staggered the glue joints. And I'm just gonna glue right over those holes in the base, and then I'm gonna drill them out later. And here are my bathroom tiles that I made out of Shrinky Dinks, and I just glue them down with Elmer's glue. And then after everything is glued down and I left it to dry, I'm just going to trim off any excess coffee stirrers and then break them over. And give the floor a nice good sanding, and then stain it with some watered down paint. And this is just craft acrylic paint. Another coat of this polyacrylic. Gives it a nice sheen. Look at that. And here I've added some walls and started with the kitchen. I put the stairs in and some of the bathroom. These are the cabinets that go in the kitchen, and they're made out of paper. And I was like, why? So of course I measured them out, and I'm going to use some popsicle sticks. They make those really jumbo popsicle sticks. And all I have to do is measure this out. And then look, those popsicle sticks are perfect size. So I just cut them to size, glued them together, and made some beautiful wooden cabinets. And then it's on to making the chairs. I just cut out the pieces, I'm gluing them together, and I'm creating the chair back. This just takes a little bit of patience with a little bit of glue and a lot of holding. Those tweezers come in real handy. I just used the patterns that came with the kit and cut them out according to the shape and size. And then I'm going to be attaching these little papers into the interior. This just gives it some sturdiness. And then once that's glued together, I can attach the two pieces together, make the chair back. And the base of the chair is this wooden form with the padding glued down, and then another piece of fabric wrapped around. And then adding the little chair legs. I've attached the little music box. Here you can listen. And then I'm going to start adding in some of the accessories. This little mirror is for the bathroom. Just attaching some super glue. And I found it would take a long time to sit there and hold it, so I flipped my room over and just let it set up. And while it's there, I'm going to attach the bathroom sink. That was really fun to make. Just a bunch of little pieces glued together. I lost one of the little legs by cutting and it flew off somewhere and I couldn't find it. So I just put a third one in the back. It's really no big deal. It's really not that noticeable. And I'm just gluing that to the wall, making sure it's setting down on the floor. And then here's the little tiny bathroom shelf. I cut out the paper that goes on the wall and just attach it to the back, and I'm gluing that to the wall. There's the bathroom so far. Just adding in the last touches of a little towel. That did not come with the kit. This was actually a piece of fabric that I had cut out. That was actually my son's underwear. And so I just made that into the bathroom mat too. I liked the blue. It was an old set of underwear, it was clean. And then I didn't like the artwork that they had for the wall in there, so I printed out a little artwork that I had made myself and just printed it really small and cut it to size. And glued it onto the already cut out artwork for the bathroom. Your personal touch to these little builds. Just makes it that much more meaningful. Look how cute. And I had to get that in position really fast. The glue dried pretty fast, so it's a little crooked, but no one can tell. And that's the bathroom. And then here's the kitchen sink and the counter. It came with this wood, but I went ahead and added the little wood pieces with popsicle sticks because I didn't like the paper that it came with. I wanted it to really be three-dimensional. I'm just gluing it down. And here I'm gluing down the stove. That thing was hard to glue together. And then my little bag of flowers. Container. I accidentally cut the second one into pieces, so there's only one, but it came with two. And here are the little watermelon slices. Those were fun. And this little canister of olives. And the utensils. Stick around to the end to see the bloopers on that one. And here are the upper cabinets made of wood, and I'm just going to lay it on its side to glue those in place. And there's the kitchen, almost done. I'm going to attach now the second floor. I made the flooring out of coffee stirrers once again, and I stained it with a blue acrylic paint. I just attached the window to the kitchen, and I had made this little plant, just gluing that down. And the wall that separates the two bedrooms upstairs. Just going to slip the wires in and glue it into place. And instead of the attached wallpaper that came with the kit, I once again used watercolor paper for that. And then here's the upper kids' bedroom. I used coffee stirrers again and stained it with white paint. I'm just slipping those wires into the hole and gluing it into place. Then I used coffee stirrers once again and painted them white, and I'm using those for the trim. I have all the baseboards. Just going to cut them to size and glue them in place. put in the curtain. So right now I'm just gluing down the little holders for the curtain rod. Just glue those into place. And then I made this curtain previously just by gluing these parts together and stringing it onto this wire. It all came in the kit. Then I'm just going to put it in position and glue the other holder down. And there we go, there's the curtain. And now I'm going to add the railing. I just glued the two pieces together and then glued them right in place. Looks great. Then I attached all the wiring together to the battery pack by putting the white wires all together and twisting them with the red wire, and then the same with the black and the gray, and then turned it on and tested them all out. I had tested all the lights previously to make sure they worked before I put them in, and so stoked that they all work. And then one last detail for the lighting was to put this little lamp shade right over the light. Now none of this stuff comes pre-made. You have to make all of it and cut it out. But look how cute that is with all the lights on. And then I liked this little piece of paper for the rug, so I glued that down. And then I made this little couch with the wood pieces and then wrapping it with the padding and all the material and glued that into place. And now I'm just adding the little sofa couch cushions right on there, and it looks so cute. And then I'm just going to glue that couch right into place. And then I made these little couch cushions with the fabric and glue and then the stuffing that they put inside the kit. And then here's a little throw blanket. I just trimmed off the edges, sealed them up with some fray stuff to make it so it doesn't fray. And then I picked out the first little 5 strands there to make little tassels on the ends. I mean, that is so tiny. This is 1/2" scale, so it's super small. It's so cute. Trimmed it up, and then I glued it down to the couch just so it looks like it's draping. Then I added a little book. Glued that in place so it didn't move. Here's a little coffee table. Sticking it right into place and gluing it down. Here's the kitchen table with a little party. All these little parts came and you just glued them all into place, cut them out and glued them. The hardest part were the mugs. They are so small. And then you glued all the parts together, and then I'm just gluing that into place. Here are my finished chairs. Turned out pretty good. And they look even better when you glue them down and hide all the imperfections. And here's the bed for the master bedroom. It's a few boards, so the headboard wrapped in some fabric and the fabric draped over the bed. And then the little pillows I made with stuffing and glue and the fabric. And then this, I just glued some pieces together and attached the rest. And here's my little vanity. Stool. Put that right into place. And I cut out this little rug just to see how it would look inside the bedroom. I wanted to know Was it gonna be nice? This was supposed to go right here at the bed. And I thought, nah, that's not good. It covers up my floor. Here's the child's bed. Glued these pieces together and stuck them all together and just gluing that into place. That was pretty easy to do. But it came with these little stars and the decorative pillow, and I thought, nah. This guy was really fun to put together. A little shelf in the books. And here was the rug with the little toys attached. And then I cut out the little space thing on the wall because the walls look too plain for a kid's room. I thought that was a nice touch. And then, of course, the pillows. And I did not do a funny cloud. The pieces were too small for me. But I did the star pillows. Those were interesting. And the last finishing touch, the vase of roses for the bathroom. And voila! Here is that loft apartment. Sans a few details, but I think it came out really nice. Oh, come on.